people are getting their hands on Android Jelly Bean, they're discovering a new built-in feature called Google Now. It's not a Siri competitor, and it's also not some revamped version of Google Voice Actions. Instead, Google Now is a built-in assistant that gives you quick answers to voiced questions. It also tries to predict what data you want based on your search history. Remember, this is only available in Jelly Bean devices, so if you have one, just swipe up from the bottom of any screen to access Google Now. At the top is your standard Google search bar, except with Google Now, you can search with your voice. If you're already familiar with Google search shortcuts, these voice commands will come easy to you. First, I'll say Google to activate the search, then whatever I want to search for. Google. Define sparkle. I get the definition and it's read out loud to me.
Sparkle, shine brightly with flashes of light.
To search again, press the microphone icon and say something like 40 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit. And that conversion will show up right away. If I ask for images of the Eiffel Tower, Google Now will take me straight to the image results. If you search for a sports team, you'll get the latest score and upcoming schedule. So I can say San Francisco Giants.
The Giants beat the Padres 7-1. They are playing the Padres today at 7:15 p.m.
And there's all that info. The more you search, the smarter Google Now will get. In fact, Google Now will begin to predict the info it thinks you want before you even ask for it. Back in the main screen, you'll see cards show up below the search bar. They're filled with at-a-glance information like schedules for public transportation and the local weather. One of my favorite cards is the one that shows traffic data for your commute to and from work. To make the most of this feature, be sure to set your home and work locations by selecting Edit from the pop-up menu on that card and entering the appropriate address. You can also manually define your home and work locations like this. Open up the Latitude app and find your location, then tap your name, then tap Location History. From here, you'll be asked to give permission for Google to track your location. When you do, go to Change Home Location or Change Work Location. Yeah, it's creepy and you might not like it, so skip this if you'd rather not have Google tracking your whereabouts. You can edit the settings for any given card by tapping the 3 dots in the corner to pull up the menu. The settings options vary from card to card, so check out each one and tweak them to your liking. You can also disable a card by turning it off at the upper right of its settings menu. If cards aren't showing up when you do things like search for a flight or a sports team, there's a good chance it's because you have Google Web History disabled. In order for Google Now to work at full capacity, you have to enable Web History. This is a huge bummer for people who don't want the Goog tracking their activity. But if you're willing to sacrifice that, go to Google Now and scroll down to Settings. From there, tap Privacy and Accounts. Then check Show Recent Searches, and then hit Manage Web History. From here, your browser will launch, you'll have to sign in, and finally, when you get to this web history screen, tap Resume. With that enabled, Google Now will use your search history to give you custom cards.
Air Canada 4479 from San Francisco to Boise is on time and departs in 35 minutes.
So those are just a few tips to help you get started with Google Now. Just remember that the more you use it, the smarter it'll get, and the more accurate those cards will be. Also check out the full list of voice search commands on my how-to blog and tweet me with any other tips you discover. For CNET, I'm Sharon Backman.